Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Meaty69, and yet again, you are in for a treat. Double video day. So today we have the AMX 1357, and this afternoon we'll have our usual subscriber replays. So, but to start off, we have got the AMX 1357, and it's 11,000 gold in the stores. It is a French light tier 7, and it has 2,130 DPM. The penetration, I think, is quite poor at 143. I do now run this with calibrated shells, brings it up to 150 mil, and it has got 90 alpha per damage, but it has got 6 shells. So reload of a full clip is 10.2 seconds, and that is 1 second every shot. So 1 second reload between every shell. It is just a 57 caliber gun. It has got higher DPM than its brother, the 1375. Well, I say brother, could be sister, could be a cousin, could be an auntie. I don't know. So, but we're going to call it the brother. 7 degrees of gun depression, whereas the 75 has the 6 degrees, and the speed is 61 kilometers per hour. So speed quite nice, just short from the 75, the other tier 7 light tank, which is 62. But literally it's nothing in it. Now the armor, I don't really understand this. It says there's no turret. It just says whole armor, which is very, very poor. 40 at the front, 20 at the sides, and 15 at the back. Pretty much the same as the tier 7 Tech Tree 1375. So we've got 3 battles for you today. One battle I am in, which I think is a very fun battle. We have M. Taylor, which is a clanmate, one of my patrons, one of my good friends, real life friends. And we have another clanmate, Penguin Killer, where they had better battles than me, so I thought I'd use their replays instead of mine. So what do I make of the tank? It's unique. It is unique with the 6 shells and the low alpha at 90 damage, but I feel it has 90 damage and 6 shells, yes, but the majority of your shots you're going to bounce because the pen really is not good. And there we go, 83 into the SP1C. We did get them again, but you're going to see some bounces. I think it's on the T20, I'm not sure, but it's a T20. We shouldn't be bouncing a T20, but the pen is really, really low. We get 100 damage there, not too bad, 288, and then we managed to get him on fire. So we did do a nice sum of damage into that AC Sentinel. Quite a hefty damage, but we did put them on fire. We penned all 6 of our shells. So when you can do that, it becomes not a bad tank, quite a nice tank. Is it worth 11,000 gold? I'm not sure. It's not like the Lorraine at 17,000. 11,000, yes, it is a bit too much. 11,000 for a tier 7 is just a tad too much. But we're seeing this regularly now. Is that price becoming the new thing? Like, is that normal? So because that's what we're seeing now. The rise in cost of these tanks have gone up dramatically. Like 17,000 for a tier 8 tank, 11,000 for a tier 7 tank. When was it the type? I think that was for 15,000. I'm not sure. And I think for the same price, you could have bought a few weeks ago. You could have bought a Type 62 for the same price as this. Now this is not worth the same price or very close to a Type 62. No way in hell. Yes, it's a very brand new tank, and it's unique with its with its 6 shots, but it definitely is not, and we get lucky with the miss there. It's definitely not worth more or the same gold as a Type 62. But again, I'm not going to sit here and say don't buy the tank, it's not worth it. If you've got the money, buy it. You're getting a decent tank, a fun tank. I do admit I'm not a lover of this tank, but that's because I just don't really get on well with it. Doesn't mean it's not a good tank, it means I don't get on with it that well. With the 6 shots, no armour, I find myself always exposed too much, and like here, we didn't need to do that. Luckily we do get the kill, and he gets the kill, but we didn't need to do that. So with the 6 shots, you are exposing yourself for a longer period of time. But we did get 2,500 damage and a first class, so not all too bad. But if I would have survived that, we could have possibly won. So now moving on to the next battle, we have M. Taylor, who is platooning with Fufu, Fusilier. And Fusilier is in the AMX 1375. So there's 2 autoloaders in the platoon. If they work together as a proper platoon, they can really do some damage. But to do damage, you need to hit your targets. Now, he hit once out of 6, mostly because he is a bit noobish, but he didn't aim properly. If he'd have aimed, he would have got a bit more damage. And you can see now the team are pushing in. You've got Hafen there, you've got the Cheery pushing in, and he's just taken some damage that he really didn't need to take. But that is what happens in this tank. When you have 6 shots, you want to get rid of them 6 shots as quick as possible. So you don't seem to poke in and out of ridges. You do usually sit in the open to shoot all 6 of your shots. And in that meantime of getting them 6 shots out, you are going to get shot in return. So that is why I don't really get on with this tank. If I played it differently, of course, I will probably get on with it. But I can't really get the hang of it. And I don't want to be poking in and out every second for 6 shots, then have an 8-second reload or 9-second reload. But this game he does pretty well, and they work really well as a platoon, and they've pretty much cleared that flank. Fusilier has lost most of his hit points. Michael has lost half of his hit points, but now they're going to start capping D together. And there is only 4 tanks left alive. So you've got the KV-4 there, which Michael in a minute is going to go and literally wreck him. So they caught the base. He's not spotted. So they've got 2 bases each. They are winning on cap points, so they don't really need any more caps. They can now go and farm some damage. So you can see the KV-4 is now pushing onto C. So Michael's going to go there, and he's going to pretty much farm him. He's not looking. He does shoot APCR, which you will find a lot in this tank. Make sure you take a lot of APCR. So you can see there, put him on fire, 600, 700 damage almost into him, leaving him on 437 hit points. He's going to reload, and he's going to get a couple of shots in before the VK takes him out, leaving just 3 tanks left. So the Dracula is coming down. He's going to take him out with Fusilier. Well, he's going to get there, and Fusilier is going to take him out. They do, I think he pens. And now it just leaves 2 tanks. One is going to get taken out. There we go, the T-32. And now they are on 750 supremacy points just about. And there is a full health IS-3. Juicy. More damage, hopefully. He has the APCR loaded. But again, it's a tier 8 heavy with armor. But if he did aim, he would get some shots in. He would definitely get a few shots into him. But I think he only penned him once. So out of the 6, he did only pin him once. But not a problem. We're just going to circle him. He's going to get behind him. He still has the APCR loaded. If he would have loaded the AP, he could have possibly taken him out, especially if Fusilier takes a shot. But that wasn't the case. The IS-5 takes him out. But he does finish on 2,600 damage. He only makes 5,000 credits because he's shot a lot of pramo. But he gets the ace. And 1,185 XP. Not too bad. It's quite low, but it's a new tank, so you don't need much to ace this tank. So moving on to our third and final battle, it is Penguin Killer, who has been waiting for this tank for months. He's been waiting for this tank, probably the only tank lately that he's been waiting for. Not sure why, because it's not really a tank that I would, if I buy it and I had the credits, or if I had the money, then as I've said, you are getting a nice tank, but it's not really a tank that I would sit and keep money in my bank just to wait for. But this is exactly what Penguin Killer has done, but it's a tank that he wants, and finally it is a tank that he has got, and it's a tank that he's doing very well in. So the enemy, there is 3 light tanks, or 2 light tanks, and then this Type 58. So they are all pushing, but a lot of the reds are, or all the other reds are pretty much at B. So they can push these mediums and these light tanks, and they can clear them, and then that will make life a lot easier. So they have got 2 tanks down already. The enemy have only got 1 tank, but now you can see they are all focusing on this AMX. They're going to clear him, and that's 2 tanks down. So 2 tanks down a piece. The Bulldog has run away. Good choice from the Bulldog. He needed to get out of there, but by then it was pretty much too late. So 1 heavy is now dead. Penguin Killer is going to have side shots into the tanks that are passing. Gets 1 into the Kuro Moni Mini. Doesn't mean to. He was shooting the KV2. That was a bad shot. Gun depression again, not too great, and he is going to get a lucky bounce. So he misses a shot there. Is he going to get? He gets that 1 shot there, and there we go. A bounce from the KV2, who he was not using the 152 gun. So luckily for him, he isn't, but he's still got plenty of hit points. It's 4 now against 4. He takes out the Bulldog, but he still bounced a few shots, which is very unlikely in this tank. He's like 840 block damage. That's amazing for a tank with absolutely no armor. So they are losing on supremacy points, so they do need to get a kill. The enemy have got 2 cap points. The KV2 is really low hit points. There we go, he's dead, but they're still losing. So there is only 2 tanks left, which that he knows where they are. It's this J Panther, and it is the Kuro. So the J Panther does take out the SP1C, but Penguin Killer can take out the J Panther. Now just leaving this Kuro Moni Mini, who he can easily circle. He still doesn't want to get shot, because that will put him near enough on a 1 shot. Not quite a 1 shot, which is lucky for Penguin Killer, because he's now shot his load, and he can get behind the ridge, reload, and by the time he's reloaded, here is the Kuro, pushes him, but the 6 shells is just too much. Finish that battle on 840 block damage, 3,000 damage for himself, 68,000 credits. And as I've said, it is not a bad tank. So if you do purchase this tank, if you do want to buy this tank, if you've got the money, yes, it's worth getting. Not sure if it's worth the gold that it's for sale for, but it seems to be the way on every new tank now. But for now, I am Midzy69, and I'll catch you all soon.